What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Nar from the Nar Report. Back today with another episode. This is episode 62 of the Nar Report. It is a pleasure to be here. And before we get things started, I just want to say thank y'all for all the love and support y'all have given me on all of my social media platforms. Starting off with here on the YouTube, thank you for all the support. Thank you for the new subscribers. We're gaining subscribers every day. We're almost at 100 subscribers. So if you know anybody that loves talking sports, football, basketball, tell them to come to the Nard Report because it's a good platform, good show. You can learn a lot of stuff here. All right. And don't forget to follow me on the social media platforms on TikTok and Instagram at _Nard_report. All right. And in today's episode, we're talking a lot of basketball. We're going to talk about the Spurs winning streak snapped yesterday against the Knicks, Wolves, Nuggets. Every time those two teams play each other, good game. And then we're going to talk about these NBA standings. All right. Let's get this show started. Starting off with the game in New York yesterday, we got the New York Knicks defeated on the San Antonio Spurs, 114-89. Let's talk about it. The New York Knicks, what a game. If they could just stay consistent like this, they are a championship contender. I don't think that the Knicks are a championship contender just yet. They need more pieces. They need to be consistent more on the offensive side and the defensive side of the ball. But otherwise, though, the Knicks got the pieces. This was the team that made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. But I think they're just too soft right now. My best for the Knicks is at least a second round exit. All right. So the Knicks, what a game. Jalen Brunson, phenomenal game. Everybody on the Knicks played a phenomenal game yesterday. Looking at the stats, Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brunson, 24 points. Mikal Bridges, 25 points. Mikal Bridges was the player of the game. This dude went off. Mikal Bridges, best player on the team. He came ready to play. He's the one who ended the San Antonio Spurs losing streak. And man, I expected the Spurs to win this game because the Knicks are too inconsistent, but the Knicks proved me wrong. And if they could just play like this on a daily basis, they are championship contenders. That's simple. All right, for the Spurs, though, they didn't play too well. They played poorly on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, they played okay, but you got to shoot the ball well for San Antonio. And this is a team that could come out of the Western Conference. All right, but everybody's going to talk about, they're inexperienced and stuff like that. But let me tell you this. As long as they got Victor Wembanyama on the floor, they're going to be a problem. That's it. Back to the stats. OG Anunoby, 12 points. Mikal Bridges, player of the game, 25. Jalen Brunson, 24. Josh Hart, 10. Karl-Anthony Towns, 12. Listen, for some reason, this is not the season for Karl-Anthony Towns. I don't know what it is, but I think it's the coaching system going under Mike Brown. I think the Knicks made a huge mistake firing Tom Thibodeau. If they get sent home in the first round, it'll be due to coaching. That's it. Now for the Spurs, Devin Vassell, 18. Victor Wembanyama, 25-13. Listen, Wemby played well, but it wasn't enough. Wemby didn't have help last night. De'Aaron Fox, 7. Stephon Castle, 13. Champagne, 3 points. Listen, if the Spurs want to be a team that could win it all, Wembanyama needs help. He can't carry the team, and he has the guys. Okay, you got Stephon Castle, you got Devin Vassell, you got a good bench, but the players just got to show up. All right. But that's it, though. Knicks win 114-89. Next game, we go to Denver with a Western Conference showdown. Potential first-round preview in the West. We got the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets. Wolves win 117-108. Listen, I love when these two teams play each other. You always going to expect a good game. Okay? It's always going to come down to the wire. It's always going to come down to a final shot. Listen, I need these two to face each other in the first round. And if they do, best first round series throughout the whole playoffs. Okay? It's simple. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Do not sleep on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yes, do not sleep on them. At first, I had the Lakers as my dark horse, but now they just too inconsistent. Though. They don't have a defense. All right. Coaching is inconsistent. But I'll tell you this, though. If JJ Redick could get the coaching together, they are a problem. They are. My new dark horse coming out the West is the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is a team who's been to the conference finals in back-to-back seasons. They are dangerous. They've been there before. They know what it takes. So, as long as Minnesota stays healthy, they are a problem. All right, let's go over these stats. Anthony Edwards, 21 points. Rudy Gobert, 7 points, 15 rebounds. Hey, Rudy Gobert has been balling lately. But if he could just play like this in the playoffs, watch out for the Timberwolves. Dante DiVincenzo, 17. Jaden McDaniels, 20. Julius Randle, 14. Naz Reid, 11. Desamu, 9. Bones Highland, 18. Listen, this Minnesota Timberwolves team is deep. Okay, I love the coaching and Chris Fletch. I love the players they got. I love the bench. They are deep. And they just got Kyle Anderson back. So, I'm telling you, do not sleep on the Timberwolves. I really think they can knock off OKC and San Antonio to get to the finals. Because this Minnesota Timberwolves team is dangerous. They're just that dangerous. They're just that good. Listen, I think they can get over the hump this year. They really can. But here's what it takes. Julius Randle, you got to be consistent. Yes, you got to show us that you can be the number 2 option for this team. And if you can, oh yeah. As of now, Julius Randle has been playing okay, but he just got to stay consistent though. As long as Julius Randle stays consistent, oh yeah, I'm telling you. So 2 players that need to stay consistent for the Timberwolves on the deep playoff run, Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert. Everybody else is fine. All right. Now let's go to the Nuggets stats. Jamal Murray, 25 points. Christian Braun, 15. Jokic, 35 and 13. Cam Johnson, 0 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. This is the dude they traded for. You traded Cam Johnson for Michael Porter Jr.? Excuse me, you traded Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson? And Michael Porter Jr. is on the Brooklyn Nets playing like a dang all-star? Yeah. The Nets won the trade. Julian Strawford had 2 points. Tim Hardaway Jr., 17. Bruce Brown, 6. Valanciunas, 2 points. Now, here's the thing, though. I'm telling y'all, do not sleep on the Denver Nuggets, too. The West is deep, and I do feel like the Nuggets are that team that can come out the West because they are a championship team. They got the experience. They got the size. They got the coaching. They got the players. But I think it's going to come out to the coaching again because this is the first full season of that new coach. So I can't wait to see what he does in the playoffs. I really do think they are going to be a team to beat by playoff time. All right. But that's it. Wolves win 117-108. And now let's go over these NBA standings. I'm going to talk about where your team is at and what they need to do coming down the final stretch. It is March, so 1 month away for the playoffs. So, yeah, it's time to talk about these standings, where teams stand heading into the playoffs, play-in tournament, whatever. All right. We're going to start off in the Western Conference because that's the best conference. At number 1, you got the Oklahoma City Thunder sitting at 47-15. Still the best team in the West. The biggest threat to them is the San Antonio Spurs. All right. I'm telling you right now, if OKC plays San Antonio, I got the Spurs coming out the West. I do. I don't care if they're the most experienced team, inexperienced, Spurs inconsistent. Oh, they're inexperienced. I don't care. Okay? As long as Victor Wembanyama is healthy, they got a team. They got a squad. All right. At number 2, you got the San Antonio Spurs, and SGA is back for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So they're back to being the team that they are. He's back like he never left. At number 2, you got the Spurs at 43-17. Listen, this is a team that's going to come out the West. They're going to challenge Oklahoma City. If Wembanyama stays healthy, the Spurs are going to be a dang problem. I'm telling you, you do not want to face this team in the playoffs. And the only way to beat the Spurs is if you shoot the ball outside of the paint. You got to score outside the paint. You can't drive it to the paint because you got that alien, Victor Wembanyama. He's going to block your shot 99% of the time. So the only way you beat San Antonio is if you score from the outside. At number 3, you got the Houston Rockets at 37-22. Now, here's the thing. Do I think the Rockets are a championship contender this season? Nah, they just a really good point guard away. If Fred VanVleet was playing this season, absolutely. But this year, the furthest I got them going is the semifinals. All right. But I won't be shocked if they make it to the Western Conference Finals or come out the West because they have a team. All right. As long as KD stay healthy, I believe they will be in that conversation. At number 4, you got the Minnesota Timberwolves. Once again, they were my dark horse to come out the West last year. They're my dark horse again to come out the West this year. Okay? Listen, this is a team who's been to 2 conference finals in back-to-back seasons. And this is the crazy part. No one expected them to go to the conference finals last year after trading Karl-Anthony Towns. They didn't. They got the same team from last year. They traded for DeSamu, got Bones Highland coming off the bench. I like where this Minnesota Timberwolves team is headed. I do feel like they can knock off the top 2 teams in Oklahoma City and San Antonio. At number 5, you got the Denver Nuggets. Listen, as long as they got Nikola Jokic, they're good. Okay, that's all I got to say. At number 6, you got the Lakers. I'm going to say this right now. They are a first-round exit. No defense. They have an undersized center in DeAndre Ayton. I'm starting to feel like he's a little overrated now. Yeah, I think so. For some reason, DeAndre Ayton hasn't been playing that good. He's too inconsistent. He can't grab rebounds. He can't play defense. Like DeAndre Ayton, you got to step the game up at that center position because Jackson Hayes is playing better than you. At number 7, you got the Phoenix Suns. Who expected this team to be this good this year? Who would expect the Phoenix Suns to compete for a playoff spot? Nobody. Exactly. But man, no Devin Booker, no Dylan Brooks. If those 2 are back by the playoffs, the Suns can upset somebody. Like, I'm not even joking. Good starting lineup. Jalen Green is playing phenomenally well too. If Jalen Green can just find his drive in the playoffs with this team, the Suns are going to be a problem. All right? They're going to be a problem. At number 8, you got the Warriors. Steph Curry out for 10 more games. He's coming back pretty soon. But I'm going to say this right now. I don't think the Warriors make the playoffs this year. I think Portland makes it over them. Because for some reason, Golden State is too inconsistent. You traded away Jonathan Kuminga. You got Porzingis, who could barely stay healthy. And Draymond is not it. He just not. All right. At number 9, you got the Los Angeles Clippers. Rebuild. That's all I got to say. Just rebuild. They're not making the playoffs this year. They might win the first play-in game against the Trailblazers, but I don't see them doing that much, though. But Darius Garland, he's been doing solid for the Clippers, but listen, I really do believe that they need to move on from Kawhi Leonard and build around Darius Garland. At number 10, you got the Portland Trailblazers. I believe this team will make the playoffs, led by their all-star and Denny Avdija. They got a young team, and they got a veteran in Drew Holiday. So I like where this Portland team is headed. At number 11, you got the Grizzlies. They're rebuilding. The Mavericks are rebuilding. It was a smart move by Kyrie Irving for sitting out for the rest of the season. At 13, you got the Pelicans, 14, the Jazz, and then the Kings. Now we go to the West. At number 1, we got them Detroit Pistons. Still the team to beat in the East. I say this a lot of times. As long as they don't run until the Boston Celtics, I got this team coming out the East. All right. Cade Cunningham is having an MVP season. They got Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, Asura Thompson, deep bench, great coaching. Detroit is going to be a problem by playoff time. Now, inexperience, nobody cares about that. But yes, you do need playoff experience. But after getting sent home in the first round last year by the Knicks, this team is ready to win. Okay? They're ready. At number 2, you got the Boston Celtics. I'm hearing news that Jason Tatum is coming back. If Jason Tatum comes back, the East is in trouble. They are. And Jaylen Brown is having an MVP season, and nobody really expected the Boston Celtics to be this good without Tatum. A lot of people had them taking a step back, not missing the playoffs, but like being in the play and then clinching the playoff spot, then going home in the first round. But even though if Tatum doesn't play, this team could still come out the East because they're that good. At number 3, you got the Knicks. Listen, my thoughts on the Knicks, even though I don't really rock with them, but they do got a good team, a team who went to the conference finals last year. But I'll say this, they're just too inconsistent. And if they get sent home in the first round, it'll be due to coaching. Because I don't think Mike Brown is the guy. That was a huge mistake for letting go Tom Thibodeau. At number 4, you got the Cavs. James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, scary hours in Cleveland. If those two stay healthy, they are a dark horse to come out the East. Okay? At number 5, who would have thought the Toronto Raptors would be this good? I mean, you got all-star in Brandon Ingram. You got an all-star in Scotty Barnes. You got a young team that's on the rise. Great coaching over there. They got a good bench. They're athletic too, well coached. Listen, do I think Toronto will make noise in the playoffs? No, but they are having a good season. At number 6, you got the 76ers. My dark horse to come out the East. If Embiid stays healthy, he is going to be that X factor for the playoffs. At number 7, you got the Orlando Magic. Frost Water out for a couple more weeks. But they've been solid, though. Paolo Banchero, Desmond Bain, they've been balling so far, carrying this team. At number 8, you got the Miami Heat. For some reason, why do the Miami Heat make the play-in every year? See, here's the thing about the Heat. They finish the 7th seed or the 8th seed in the play-in. They lose the first game, win the second game and become the 8th seed, and then get sent home in the first round. And then if they finish 9th or 10th, they're going to win both games. For some reason, they're the playing Heat. I don't know what it is, but why don't the Miami Heat play like that in the regular season? I get it, because they're trying to save all that energy for the play-in tournament so they can make the playoffs. But you're still going home in the first round. At number 9, you got my Atlanta Hawks. Before we talk about my team, I just got something to say. Golden State Warriors. Thank you so much for Jonathan Kuminga. Thank you. This man is producing for the Atlanta Hawks so far. He changed the vibes for the bench. Our bench is better. We're deep in Atlanta. Quinn Snyder's making good coaching adjustments. Benching Zach Ricochet, putting in CJ McCollum in the starting lineup, which CJ McCollum has been balling since he became a starter. And I feel like if we would have been started CJ McCollum, we would have had at least 2 more wins than we have right now. We are 31-31. But if Jalen Johnson and Jonathan Kuminga stay healthy, we can go on a run at the end of the season. And I do believe with the team we have, we can make the playoffs. All right. CJ McCollum, the veteran, I love to have him on the team. You got Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, Onyeka Okongwu. These boys keep getting better every night. And I'm going to say this, Zachary Ricochet plays better off the bench. He does. At number 10, you got the Charlotte Hornets. I would not want to play this team in a play-in tournament, okay? Because if they do, if you run into the Charlotte Hornets in the play-in tournament, you better be nervous, okay? You got the rookie of the year in Konkunupa, who was a snipe shooter, three-point sharp shooter. That dude looks like prime-time Klay Thompson out there. LaMelo Ball, if he stay healthy. Oh, yeah. I think this team can make a run to the playoffs. All right, you got a young team. The vibes over there in Charlotte are high. The coaching as well. Listen, if you are the Atlanta Hawks, the Orlando Magic, or the Miami Heat, and you have to get to the playoffs, going through the Charlotte Hornets, I will be scared. I'll be terrified because them boys can ball. At number 11, you got the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis coming back tonight. There are 3 games out from making the play-in tournament. So as long as Giannis stays healthy for the final stretch, the Bucks will find a way to make the play-in. And he came back at the right time too. First week of March, 1 month left of the regular season. I think it's time Milwaukee Bucks to go on a run. At number 12, you got the Bulls, who are in full tank mode. All right, they traded everyone. I don't really think they're going to do much in the next couple of years. At number 13, you got the Wizards. Trae Young is making his Wizards debut on Thursday. At number 14, you got the Nets, who are tanking. But this is a young team that can ball. And I do feel like in the next couple of years, they're going to be a team to watch out for. And the Pacers, at last, at number 15, no Halliburton. So we expected this team to be, But that's it, though. That concludes today's show of the No Report. I just want to say thank y'all for everyone that joined the show today. It was a pleasure to be here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube. Click that bell to make sure y'all get all the notifications on when I go live and when I post stuff. And don't forget to follow me on the social media platforms on Instagram and TikTok at _NAR_report. Have a good rest of your day. I'll see you on my next episode. Nard out.